Hello everybody and welcome to Berringer, and today is going to be a tutorial on how I make my retaining walls. And currently at the moment you can see the back wall here, which is going to be changed, and it's going to be along this sort of lines. We're going to put some arches in it, a bit of detail on it to make it look a bit more, just a bit more prettier to look at, and a bit more well finished, because what I did here is I patched it up, because some of you may remember that I did have the parcels office here and all the rest of it, and I had the other platform along here. So that's what we're going to do, but quickly I'm going to show you. This is a section of retaining wall that I've just recently made, and this is a combination of brick paper, card, and basically well, it's not brick paper, sorry, plastic card embossed, and it's going to be card. And as you can see, it's 3 layers of card. So what do we need for our retaining wall? Well, first of all you're going to need some plain A4 sheet of paper. It doesn't necessarily have to be plain, it can be an old bill, as long as you can see the lines and where you're marking it, where you folded it, then it's fine. So it can be an old bill, but I like to use plain paper. You're also going to need an A1 sheet of card. This strip here is the last of the A1 cards that I had bought, and it's burgundy on one side, white on the other side. And the reason why I chose this colour is purely because I thought, well, whilst I haven't finished it, and if I haven't quite got enough brick plastic card to cover it, I can just leave it and it still look fairly decent and roughly the right colour. So that's the only reason, but it can be any colour. You're also going to need some embossed plastic card, which is what this stuff is, and I don't know if you can pick it up, you probably can't, but it's basically what's on there. So this is how it starts off, as a sheet of sort of A4. You're also going to need some rocket card glue, and also some scissors, and a pencil and a ruler, probably just to mark things out as to how you want to do it. Also, interestingly enough, in this month's issue of Model Rail, which is August 2014, there's also a review on, well, a sort of, sorry, they call it a super test on retaining walls, and they give you various options and prices, and compare various methods of doing it to see what's actually best to do. I find my way, and it's not being biased or anything, but I think the price is better, as in terms of it's good value. It's not very difficult to put together. It's not very you don't have to be a rocket scientist to put it together, and you can customize it very easily, and it's not a difficult job, whereas some of these other pre-made bits and pieces can be quite expensive. You know, you buy a small section, say like that, and all of a sudden it's cost you like about £5 or £6 just for one section, and you've got the whole length to do, and it can end up being very expensive. This isn't an overly expensive way to do it, and it's not difficult, so overall I think it's a good way of doing it. This wall here is a very simple wall. It's just basically that brick embossed sheet stuck onto a piece of MDF to give it the depth, and that's all that is. And then after, the joins are hidden with just a piece of strip wood. So this is another method of doing it. But this particular method here was layered with card, and it's 3 layers of card. And it's important to say it's 3 layers of card, because originally my original intention was to repeat the arch process on the other side, and I didn't actually do it. But if you wanted to do it, then obviously you need 3 layers for it, and the reason for that is that you do your first layer with the arches, and then basically you get another strip of card and basically copy the process, so you have 2 identical pieces, and then you have just a plain sheet of strip card just to basically form the middle sandwich section. So then you've still got the arches on both sides of the retaining wall. So that's what I did, and also to give it rigidity, obviously the more layers you give it, the more stronger it is. And then after the capping is a strip piece of card. Now for this, first of all, what you're going to need to do is work out how you're going to do it. Now what I started off doing is I firstly took my A4 sheet of paper, and what I did is I made a template and marking all the lines for the platforms so it could sit on, and transferred that onto a piece of card with basically making folds, following the folds that you've made, like one here, look. If I do that, so you basically follow that line with the scissors, that will give you the height, then you mark it with a pencil, and then obviously you transfer it, test fit it, and then you transfer it onto your piece of card. Here we have a piece of card which has been marked and test fitted, and as you can see it's just a plain piece of card, and that just literally just slots into the back right there. So that template from the paper was transferred onto the card, and now the card now sits perfectly. Now obviously if you do it with the paper first, obviously paper doesn't cost very much, so if you get it wrong you just throw it away and get another sheet or whatever. So, and then obviously you can transfer it to card knowing that it's going to fit. So this is it, this is just a plain sheet of card. I then decided that I wanted to put some arches into it, and I had some of the bigger arches left from the same set as this, and I wanted to transfer it. So the next thing I wanted to do is mark out where I wanted to put the arches. So I've now got this second piece of card which is overlaid, and basically it was originally, the second piece was originally cut exactly the same as the first piece, and then I made the lines and marked out where I wanted the arches to go. And I wanted one there, and I wanted it to be even. And now what I was going to do with this piece is I'm going to turn this into my parcel office, and so that this one's going to be slightly different. So this is going to be bricked. All these three are going to be bricked, and this centre one I'm going to be making some doors and a parcel office for that. So once we've done that and cut that out, you can then get your plastic embossed sheet and basically overlay it onto the bit that you've just done, and then you can just mark it out on the reverse and then cut it out from the reverse, and then that will have that that will have the shape onto your card, and then you just glue it with the rocket card glue, which I will show you. Okay, right, so we've now glued the two bits together, and what I've done now is I've also cut the template using, before I glued these two bits together, I used the burgundy bit and transferred the template onto the brick embossed brick, and what we've done now is now done that, so now that fits in like so, as you can see. The bits that have been left out, cut out, they will be used to slide in and fill in the arches like so, like that, except for this middle one, because here we're going to be doing a little something rather with that, and I will come to that shortly. So we're just going to glue all this together. We're going to glue this arch, and the rest of this together, paint it all up. We're going to leave this purposely to the last bit, because that way if we get any paint on this it doesn't really matter, because then this bit will be covered anyway, so that isn't really too much of an issue. So join me shortly once I've had it all put together. Here you can see we've now completely done it. We haven't painted it or anything like that. We've still got some things to do, like we've got some lines there that need to be filled in. So we're going to fill in any problem areas, and then we're going to have a paint, and then we'll come back to you and we'll show you what it's like. So this is just a rough test fit of how it looks for now. Like I said, it's all done, the arches have been added in. The arches have come from Wills, I've explained this before. You can get them in 2 packs, one with a mixture of arches, and then there's one with one set of arches, which I think is a pack of 8 of this size arches. So currently it kind of looks like that, unpainted, so it's just literally just a test fit now to make sure everything fits okay, and then we're going to paint it, and then after I'll come back to you with it painted. Hello everybody once again, and we've now finished the painting and it's now in place. The arches are in and painted, everything's done. and I've now added the centre doors. And what I've done for that is basically, I'll just show you what that is. I had another project that I was doing. This is also from Wills, and I've got a little box here of just scrap bits of plastic card and bits that I've never used. And what I've done here is I had some wooden planking, as you can probably tell, and what I've done is I've simply had some spare, and I used that to make the doors. So we've got some wooden gating doors for the parcels office, so the forklift can come in and out through the gates and bring in the trolleys and luggage and all the rest of it and stuff like that. So that's going to need labelling up. The top part, in order to recess it in amongst that, was basically the template that I had when I originally cut out the card, and I'll show you that. This also. Little template here was from when I cut out the original card section from this corner here, and basically with all the rest of them I had a similar sort of template. So what I did is, for the middle one, I turned it around to the white bit and basically chopped off the top, and then basically infilled it with the wooden planking to create the two doors. And you'll see how that sort of comes out. So the doors will open inwards, and then after the forklifts can come in and out and service the trolleys and bring them out and all the rest of it. And it's now all been painted up, and that's pretty much how I do it. I mean, I have to say, I'll be honest with you, I made a bit of a boo-boo, which I didn't realise until I did it. But basically, when I infilled this, I basically, to cover the card, I brought the original card, I brought the plastic card in slightly in. But by doing that, I made the arches too big. So what I've done is I've had to trim the top off the arch and basically pull them together. It's something that I didn't have to do, but something that you should learn from me. I'm not too displeased with it because I don't think it's bad. I can live with that, and I think the overall effect of what I've achieved here is pretty much to the same standard as this. I mean, as you can see on this one, I didn't have to do the slit in the middle. That's because I judged it better. So it's something to be careful with, but the overall effect that this has created has just made this station a lot more detailed, which I'm really happy with. So I hope this has helped you in any sort of way. Oh, the other thing I should mention to you, the two colours that I've used for the red, they're both rail match colours, and I'll just let you know what they are. This is a rail match colour, the first one, and that is Royal Mail red, because I was actually doing it for the Royal Mail parcel, but I was looking for an NSC red, but they didn't have one, but that does the trick nonetheless. And the second one that I use for all the brickwork is also a rail match colour. This one's completely finished now, and this is well, let me get the labels gone off that one. I've just bought a new one, so there it is. It's light brick 2423. So before I go, I will leave you with the last look of my arch set, and thanks for watching. Feel free to comment and subscribe, and I will speak to you soon. Bye for now.